Okay. I'll just do it like this. Share it. Okay, so this is, I wish I could do it on the presentation side where it looks a lot better. You guys can see everything, but that's Landon's right there. So that's what they're going to be looking like for those of you who have it. And then different colors, different levels, different status. Like I said, for the Builder 500, shows you $500 per month with 20 subscribers. And so when you actually have these on your page, when a person knows you only have 20 subscribers, 20 team members, and you're getting $500 a month residual income, that's a marketing tool, right? So even though we're not a network marketing company, you can literally go after network marketers because they're not making any money when it comes to residual, right? And so this is something that, again, you want to be able to post and get it out there. I know Brenda, hers, Landon's. Yeah, Roxy. Yeah, I know you didn't send picture in, but I made sure I know you hit yours, made sure you got it. And some of the ones like Julian, I knew she had hers. That's not me. There we go, Angel. And they just use me for the template. I'm trying to get to the other ones. There we go. Laura Johnson, sponsored for. Let me see the other ones before that. That's just a prototype. I ain't gonna go. Well, maybe. Where's the? Or maybe she put them on the bottom. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's what I was looking for right there. All right. And so for those of you who have this is you'll see this one also in the Telegram group under recognition. So when she downloads them, the whole entire team will see them. People who are in the Telegram group. But then you want to go ahead and post yours on your page. There's Victor in one of his deals, 14 kilowatt system. There's Laura in one of her deals. Again, guys, turn your stuff in, because again, you get a chance to get this stuff right off the press as soon as it's launched. Okay, so let's make sure we get that. Y'all like them? Not don't like them? What y'all think?
Nice.
Love
Make
it.
sure.
Love it.
Yes.
It's sizzling. It's
Fantastic.
sizzling.
Very nice. Yes,
Okay,
Can't
indeed.
wait to post it.
That's fire.
exactly. And
How do
so
we get access to the
That's
Telegram?
awesome.
I got to level up my
Great.
game.
that's a good question, Matt. Matter of fact, let's see here. That is a good question. I'm gonna go ahead and send that to the actual group right now.
Thank you.
That way you guys can have it to send it to your team members as well. But uh build for sites. Okay.
Is there also a new builder banner?
You know what? That's a good question. And the answer should be yes. It's two that's not done. I think that's one of them. And so we'll make sure we get that done
Thanks,
as
sir.
well. That way you guys can have access to the template. And when you have a new builder, you can actually get that done. Let's see here. Send. Copy. Share. Okay, so now that link is in the leadership group. And if you have people who want the recognition of that actual banner, or those banners and have access to them, that's the link for it. You can send it to them and they can join and have access to everything. It also talks about in that group, it has tabs for upcoming events, calls, stuff like that, trainings that are archived, trainings recorded, and all kind of different things. So kind of like a little substation for information. All right, so got that out of the way. I want to make sure you guys, I really got a chance to see that. I was pretty excited about that. Anytime we get a chance to do some recognition, that's always a good thing. Always a good thing. And so it continues to put people in a position to motivate them. So the $1,000 one, Builder 1000 talks about 50, you having 50 customers on that banner, $1,000 residual. Same thing for, Builder, was it 2,000, 110 customers, subscribers, $2,000 a month. So when people start seeing that, they start to count, yeah, and they start to see it's not as hard as they thought it was. It ain't as difficult as they thought it was, and then you blend them on top of the high ticket sales, things that we sell that makes it more attractive. All right. So real quick, we'll start off with, let's see here. We'll take the first 10. Let's get us about 60 seconds of anything you've experienced this week, or any wins you experienced this week, anything you learned you were impacted for this week. And we'll start with Carla Wynn.
Good morning, and thank you for allowing me to share. So this week I studied a little bit in the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. First chapter I've started reading is the Law of the Lid, and the story of the McDonald brothers, and how their vision was limited until they connected with Ray Kroc, and how he expanded their empire into, what we now know as the McDonald's. So that's one. Another thing, I got collected another bill this week, and have that person set up for an appointment to meet with Idris on Tuesday.
That's what I'm talking about. Congratulations. And yeah, the Ray Kroc situation is one real nice situation because I use the McDonald's story for a lot of different reasons. Yeah, there's a lot of different things that you can get, points you can get across when you're talking to people. So great job. Let's see here. Laura Johnson.
Well, great morning once again. Always excited because of you, Mr. Bean, and your impeccable leadership and the system that you've created for us to have success. It does matter the speed that you move. You should always move with speed because success loves speed. But with the system that we have that you've created for us, no matter what speed you move, you're going to have successes. So I'm excited this week. I was able to close another deal with the help of our illustrious mentor, Mr. Idris Alaka. I also just am excited about the process and what you put out for us about growth and culture. Growth and culture. I mean, you've given us such clear guidelines on how to move forward. And so I'm excited about that and moving forward with as much speed as I can muster. And I know I need to muster more, but I will do so as I continue to move forward. I'm on the way to a networking event, so I'll only be with us till 10 o'clock this morning, Mr. B.
No problem. We'll take it. And
Thank you.
what I'm seeing though is, people who, had moderate, success in other situations. They're coming in here and blowing it up, and really coming in here and getting sales, getting bills, getting deals, and I'm excited about that. It just goes to show you that everything is not for everybody. Everybody doesn't win in the same place, and it's kind of like, a palm tree. You dig a palm tree up, from the Dominican Republic and try to plant it in New York, it may not live long, and so it's just because the soil is different, right? And so the environment is different, and things are different, and whatever it is in that place is feeding you, and so that nourishment in this situation is just something different for some of y'all, and so I'm excited to see. We were just talking about that yesterday. I'm excited to see a lot of people who have been hanging around, sticking around, personally developing and increasing their level of leadership, winning on this side of the world. So appreciate you. Let's see here. Leslie Johnson. Let me unmute you, ask you to unmute. There we go. Let's see if we can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm driving, so we're thankful this. But yeah, thank you for allowing me, Mr. Bean, the opportunity to come on this platform to share. I'm thanking for your phenomenal leadership and you, Ms. Bean. And I just want to share very quickly that I had a very successful week with 8-point system. So right now, I'm driving ahead into Jacksonville to a major big network event. So I'm out here building my pipeline and just out there making connection. And I'm so happy and grateful also for Monday's night being there, mindset call that you did. I just have to go back and treat it as a college course. So again, thank you for allowing me to share. And I'm on the go. Thank you.
There you go. Congratulations on a great week. And drive safe going back home to Jacksonville. And go out there and knock them dead. All right. See here. Let's see here. Boudreaux.
Great morning, Mr. Bean. How is everyone? So this week, all kind of things happened this week, but most of all, that leadership call, if you're not on the leadership call, you need to get on the leadership call because the leadership call was dynamic in the fact that that's how you handle tough situations. And I mean, I appreciate your leadership in those instances because those are tough instances. But you handle that with such grace and such professionalism that it's just beyond the pale. So, and I love working with people that are professional. That's why I've been around you for 15 years. The second thing was get for, pay no more. If you have not put a paper and pencil to get for, pay no more, you need to go draw that out. Because when you draw that out, you're not going to sleep anymore for the rest of your life. I mean, it's unbelievable how fast that grows in less than a week. Okay. So I had a bill I put in, I got an appointment with Idris on Wednesday. And more importantly, this week, I don't have solar in Louisiana, Mississippi, which is two of the states that I have a lot of people. So I shifted gears to rain, and I just want to say, we have not only Mr. Bean is the leadership, but Mrs. Bean. Not only is she build her, which all you men, y'all better step it up because I'm gonna tell you what's about to happen. The women are gonna take over, and that's a good thing. But the director of operations for Rain is Miss Bean, and I'm telling y'all right now because yesterday I had a great a 15, 20-minute session with Miss Bean on rain, how to campaign in Louisiana for that, the features, advantages, and benefits for rain. Y'all really need to get together with the director of operations that we have for rain and get that moving because that's another stream of income that's just as powerful, if not more powerful than all our other products. So, I'm feeling great today because of all of this.
Yeah.
And I appreciate your leadership and Mrs. Bean's leadership beyond the pale, Mr. Bean. I mean, it's exceptional. I love it.
Appreciate you, bro. And again, a couple of things, guys. Things are always going to happen. Anytime you're dealing with human beings, everybody makes mistakes, and it's not that people make mistakes. Is who you are when they make a mistake around you. It's one thing to be petty and try to drag a person and act like you don't have skeletons in your closet, and everybody does. And so what you do is you just move on. You just make sure you pick up the pieces and you make sure everybody's on the same page going forward. And that's what it is. And you also always attack stuff head on. You don't let it come to you. You go to it and you don't go to everybody. You always just go to your key people, your leaders, and show them how to handle situations. And again, that's just one thing, but you'll see different things that'll come up in your group. The bigger your group gets, the more things you'll see. Right? And how you handle it will determine how your people look at you, right? And so always be professional 100% of the time, and always remember this: that could be you in that seat, and you want to ask yourself, how would a person, how would you want a person to treat you? Would you want them to, give you not necessarily a pass, but would you want them to forgive you and allow you to move on and allow you to learn from that mistake, right? And so That's important. But the other thing is this, guys, the message that you put in the group the other day about rain. There's some people who are in Memphis, Tennessee, and some other places we don't do solar at, and you inspired them, and they started talking about the rain system to their people, and so they started knocking doors. They started doing things about rain around rain, and so you've given people hope with that one message. Two different people. So appreciate you, Dale. Appreciate you. All right, Dr. Arlene.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for my Saturday injection and my level up song. Yes, thank you very much. This week, I have got one affiliate, one builder, one build, one proposal. Booked a three-way with you for Sunday. I'm on your schedule. I have one site visit scheduled for Wednesday. And for me, it's just everything coming together and my mind getting where it should be by being able to sit down with you and Mrs. Bean and understand what my strengths are, what I need to build on, and how I need to build to be able to retire from medicine in April of 2026. So I'm working the plan. I am submitting to my leadership and I'm loving the system because it works. Everything that I mentioned just now happened within a 3-day span. So again, success loves speed.
Yep, it does, guys. And the thing about it is this: you got to ask yourself, what is the average, commission on a deal? And when you say, okay, well, it's $3,500 on average, and let's just say we'll just use that round number for you. Not necessarily both sides of the deal, just $3,500 on the deal, or even $2,100 a deal on a deal for water, something like that. And then you ask yourself, how many people do I have to contact, a day to get one deal? Okay. And then how many people I have to contact, period, to get a deal. And so you go through your numbers. Let's say it's 70 numbers. Let's say you're real new, real green, and you contact 70 people, you got your first deal. Okay. Well, if it took you seven and it took you 70 phone calls over, let's say 3 months, right, to actually get that deal, which happens, it's happening like that for some people. Why not just do, 20 phone calls a day for 3 days or 4 days and get to the deal a whole lot faster? Okay. Collapse time frames, do it a whole lot faster because when you look at all that intimate time that you have between those phone calls over that 3 months, the 4 months, the 5 months, you know, there's a lot of time that's just set there, a lot of negativity that's sitting there. And when you do it day by day, and you're making actual phone calls, getting actual contacts. Let's say you talk to 5 people a day, you actually get 5 people on the phone. That's 75. That's what 75 contacts in a week. So that's a deal. That's a deal a week. If those are your numbers, those if that's your average. So now you got 4 deals instead of doing one deal, 4 months making 75 phone calls over 4 months. You got one deal a week making 75 phone calls a week. Okay. You're learning and you're compounding those experiences and you're learning from each experience and you're recreating yourself, from one experience to another, one phone call to another, and you're learning, from that. That's what speed also gives you. It's what speed also gives you when it comes to collapsing time frame. It doesn't give you time to wallow, in self-pity. It doesn't give you time to sit there and think about all the negative stuff that you got going on in your life and what's not happening fast enough for you. And because you're always busy. Okay. And so some of you are your own worst enemies, right? They say idle mind is what? The devil's workshop, right? And so if you sitting there scrolling through social media because it's not like you don't have nothing to do. You have something to do. You just, right now you just that dopamine kicked in on the video game that's on your phone or on them likes that you're trying to see if anybody liked your last post or whatever, when you should be liking your development as you're going through your process of making 15 phone calls, 15 contacts a day, right? And so, but that's why winners win and people who fail, fail. And I tell you all the time, you have to be amazing, to go out there and make $1 million a year. Okay. But you have to be just as amazing to go out there and lose $1 million a year. Okay. Just because you don't have it in your hands doesn't mean you didn't lose it. Right. If you're qualified to earn it or you're in a position to actually earn it, it's lost wages, it's lost earnings. So you just chose, to not go collect. It's like the story. Some of y'all heard the story, man dies, go to heaven, and and God meets him at the gate, walks him in, and he's showing him a tour of everything. And on the way to his room, he's pointing out all these beautiful things. He's got mounds of gold over there. He's got stacks of cash over there. Tons of Bitcoin over there. They actually got physical Bitcoin in heaven, right? They got tropical trees, beaches over there. They got all this stuff over there, and Rolexes over there. And guys like, well, God, why you got all this stuff up here? He said, well, this is all the stuff that people prayed for, but they wouldn't do the work to go come and get it. They didn't show up to collect it, right? And so that's the thing. You have people who always say, what they would like to do and what they would like to have, but are not committed, to go out there and just getting the job done. And how many people have ever heard somebody say, well, I did my best, right? Well, when you say you did your best, what you did was you pretty much gave yourself a soft pillow to fall on, right? Because what you're saying to everybody is this, instead of making my best better, I chose to, take the easy way out. I chose to not develop. I chose to not grow. I chose to not persevere, not to commit. I chose to do all the other stuff. And I'm gonna just tell you, people who live that life, that's a habit that they've gotten real good at conditioning themselves, all the way through their whole entire life to quit on everything, to make excuses about everything, right? To underachieve, underperform, undercommit on everything. And so get that speed in your life. Because speed, I say speed kills, but speed and business thrills. Okay. So appreciate you, Doc. And can't wait for you to move to Texas. Jared. Come on, Jared.
Hey, sir. Jared wanted me to speak for him. He's in the middle of getting ready to an event we got to go to
Okay.
in a few minutes.
Gotcha.
So he just wanted to talk about he had a builder to level up. And so he said it was a joint effort. We did a three-way call. So I forgot to tell you, we are doing a little bit of three-way calls. So we are doing them. So that was one of our wins for this week. And then Eddie had a level up as well this week. So we're working on it.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. I appreciate that. That's good stuff. So, Jared, I hope y'all get Nico Collins back this week. I need them Texans to beat Detroit. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Go Texas. Go. All right. Thomas.
Hello, Mr. Bean and crew. How you guys doing today?
Fantastic.
Good. I'm so glad to be here today on a Saturday morning. I am at work right now, but I said, man, I gotta work for myself too, and be smart with the company's time too. But I'm gonna make this short and quick. I'm so excited this week. I will tell you guys that I've had as we go solar, it's a process. It's a long process. Some people it has a short process, but in my process, we kind of changed the job one time, and it kind of backed things up. But I tell you what, yesterday my system finally went on. I got a power for the sun now eventually, and it's great. I had a great experience with Freedom. My portfolio specialist was really awesome. I wanted to just give her kudos. Her name is Patricia. And man, I tell you, man, every time I called her, she called me back. Every time I text her, she texted me back. Just the experience that I had with this whole solar system with Freedom was just awesome. So I want to give her kudos. I told her yesterday how great she was. I think I was gonna send a letter, find somebody I could send a letter to her boss just to give her great kudos. And the other thing I wanted to share is this past week we had a presentation with a friend of mine who's probably going to be going solar, and then collected a couple of bills, turned one bill in, working on the other bill and the appointment. And guys, I'm just fired up. Like Mr. B said, we've been in different companies before, and but seeing success here is really really great to see this kind of success in such a short period of time. And back to you, Mr. Bean. You guys have a great day.
Appreciate you, big guy. Appreciate you. And make sure you get your photo over to Omi with your house, with the solar deal, because I want to make sure you use that. You paid for it. It's marketing. Use it. Angel.
Okay. Okay.
And guys, We'll stop at Brenda. We're not at Brenda, but we're gonna stop at Brenda. So by somebody when you hear Brenda, that means that we're gonna go into training. So we got a couple more of y'all before Brenda. Go ahead, Angel.
Hi, great morning, Mr. Bean. Great morning, everyone. First of all, I want to thank you and Mrs. Bean for always providing and protecting us. We're always, every company that we're in, we've always been the company inside of a company. And so I really appreciate it this week for everything that you've updated us. We're not waiting on the company to update. We have you to update. So everything that we have in our arsenal, I was able to use from your from your new updated calls for the for the uh just for the business overview. Everything that I have right now that I'm sending to people is everything that you've updated. So I really appreciate that because there's a lot of outdated stuff, and you're always, innovative and making sure that we have that. My wins for this week is that the event on Saturday was so awesome. Before everybody left the event, they were like, when's the next one? And I followed up on everybody this week out of all my guests, and they're like, I can't wait to our next one. I'm like, our next one? Okay. So I have a lot from that event. I've actually had a lot of people that are getting ready to sign up within this week and next week. And so when we got our game plan together, and you're outside of my team, I need 6 brand new people. So I'm already halfway there. And due to all of the activity that's going on, I'm excited. I actually have enough activity to where I need a VA. So I hired my VA for Monday to start.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Well, that's great. That's great. That's great. And that should trigger some things. And you should be build a 2000 right away. So I know that's in the making. I know that's in the work. We had our conversation, when it came to your game plan session. But yeah, I had people tell me they want to be sponsors at the next event. And I'm just telling you, that was the thing is like, guys, when you look at those events, and I don't go to these events, but I know this. I don't want to watch a presentation. I don't want to sit there for 35, 45 minutes watching someone talk about what they do and try to pitch me. I'm here to get some contacts, and and I want to give my contact out, right? And so that's why I did it the way I did it. And guys, I have a video. I'll put it in the group, and just so you can see, how I created a flow around what we have to offer. I just kept it real sweet. We had the sponsors speak for 2 minutes, and the sponsors did an amazing job. They kept it within that 2 minutes. You can tell they do that on a regular basis. They were on the stage, off the stage, boom, 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 and gone. And I just got on, let them know, about the industry of home essentials, basically real estate, the entire real estate industry, and how you guys all are networking with people, and you guys are all referring people, for $50 here, $100 here, $250 here, and here we are, sharing with you guys on how you can send referrals to us, and you make $500, $1,000, $3,000, $4,000, right? And so, but I made sure that they saw a long list, a laundry list of all these people who they do referrals with, from electricians to plumbers and everything else, landscapers, interior designers, all this stuff. And you'll send them a lot of business for $100 a pop. But you won't send me something for $3,000 a pop, or $4,000 a pop, $1,000 a pop. There's a disconnect in here. So at the end of the day, we need to collaborate. And so in 9 minutes, I was done. And so I was on stage, off stage, went through all 3 of the industries that we went through, from solar to water to Ripple, right? And I was out of there. And then and Mrs. Bean talked about Build Her, and so and that hit, that actually hit too. So yeah, women who were locked on. So ladies, when y'all are out there, at events, talk about Build Her. Talk about stand out, set yourself, apart from the other women who are out there in that room, because everybody's pitching something, and and everybody's pitching something that they can sell. Pitch something that not just mention your name and build around, Build Her, something significant, and so they can say, you know what, man, Angel's different. She's been in business with everybody else, but but they got this movement going. You know what, Sabrina's different, man. I like what she's talking about, and she talked way more about Bill Hurd than she did about her business. And, I like doing business with people like that, and so you wanna put yourself in a position where you stand out like a sore thumb, but in a great way. Right. So, but that event was great. And I learned one thing. I'll never do a presentation the morning of a mixer again, because y'all don't invite for mixer. No, that y'all don't invite for the morning session. Y'all had everybody come straight to the mixer. I get it. So I learned something that day too. I'm trying to tell you, you can learn something every day. So, Jeremy.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Appreciate you, as always, for having this Saturday call. Um, After Saturday's millionaire mentor or Saturday mentor call, I got up and called about 30 realtors, went and did some door knocking. Friday, Sunday, did the same thing, did some door knocking. Monday, did a bunch of phone calls. Um, had a solar proposal with Idris on Tuesday. Had another one lined up on the commercial side on Friday. Um, After about Tuesday, though, I have been on the down low. Wednesday, I ended up on with IVs and get CT scans and kind of been sick. So kind of finally getting back to my groove, but been kind of quiet Wednesday through Friday, to be honest.
That's, you know what? Let me ask you a question, because I know y'all see a lot of the commercial deals that are coming through now. And right now, what I have Jeremy doing. He's like my guy, just basically going in right now, testing the waters on the commercial company. Uh, Jeremy, how many deals do you have going over there with them right now?
Uh, 5.
Five. Okay. So what is that experience like, and what are you seeing?
It's been very good experience. Liam's very professional.
Mhm.
Um, does a very good presentation.
Mhm.
Um, they have bunch of uh, a bunch of options, especially if you're on the city side, um, low income. They could almost give you a free system with all the incentives and stuff that they have. They have hedge funders that would love to buy the system for you, and just so they could have the incentives.
Mhm.
So I'm seeing a lot of that. Uh, Good, but they have 29 different finance options. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, it's
It
going to be a
feels-
game changer once they finally get everybody. They're right now they're they don't have enough people, so they're training a bunch of people and stuff. So until that gets all lined out, I think once that does get lined out, it's going to be a game changer.
right.
I mean, I really think it's going to. I On the commercial side, I really think it's going to be easier to close the deal than residential.
Yeah, and those guys are real creative. And I had them talk about it for a minute, and it's not. It's again, it's you have a couple people who have access to that right now, because again, we want to make sure that they are fully functional before we just turn everybody loose, and we don't want to cause a problem. But we want to make sure that and all of Jeremy's deals are different deals. All different types of deals, different types of setups, different types of classifications when it comes to nonprofits and for profit. All this stuff, it's all different, and so. Just being able to sit in on some of those things and those conversations and see some of the deals that they've done, I'm blown away. So you just know, start getting your commercial contacts in place. And once we go ahead and turn the green light on and switch, you guys will be turned on. You guys will be open up to it. So appreciate you, Jeremy. Sarah
Yeah,
George.
thank you.
Hi guys, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Mr. Bean, for letting me speak, and thank you for creating a system where we can all really thrive. So this week I really focused a lot on the training that Angel did, and I took a page out of her book and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna network like crazy. So I scheduled 7 networking events. Unfortunately, I got some of the times wrong because apparently some of them were in London.
Uh,
And I was only able to attend about 4. But from that 4, I got over a dozen contacts of people to follow up with and call who are interested in possibly being builders. I have 5 people who have reached out to me and say, yes, I for sure want more information. So I can either schedule them into the op meeting, schedule them into a call, or schedule them into a one-on-one presentation. I also was able to like do some presentations this week, and I got a second affiliate, which is nice. And she's thinking about being a builder. And yeah, and that is my win for the week. I really just upped my activity and was like, okay, if they're running, I'm gonna run with them too. Right, so
Well,
thank you for letting me speak.
I
Bye.
appreciate what you bring to the table, and I know you called. We had a conversation earlier in the week, and you basically asked for advice, and I appreciate when you ask for advice because again, even when I give you advice, guys, it's your business. You have 100% autonomy on what you do after you get the advice. You just now have advice to consider. It's your company. I don't run your company. I'm just here to advise you. And just always seek counsel. Right. And so she got a game plan, and her game plan at that point in time, her marching orders, or however you want to call it. But I respect you, for being able to reach out and say, hey, look, I need help, I need coaching, I need counseling, and want some advice. Okay, because you have people who can't do that, for whatever reason, and so they got a block. So, but again, great job, and get those London times right because I don't want you missing that money. So, guys, this is good stuff. And so let's see here. Matt Acosta.
Good morning. Good morning from the West Coast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let's see, the first 2 wins that I have this week is I got an install. I had an install happen last week, and then also I sold a 17 kilowatt solar system this week as well. So I got 2 deals, one completed and one just started.
Yeah.
Also, Roxy and I both recruited 2 people that we've actually been trying to bring into the business for months, and we finally got them this week. So
Yeah.
one of them actually brought another person with him. So that was 2 signups, and then he accidentally signed up as a consultant. So we're gonna get him upgraded as builder. And
Yeah.
then his person that he brought, she signed up as a builder. That's the one we spoke to yesterday. And then we have the third one. We have a call with her today at 4 p.m. and she's already at bat with 14 commercial real estate deals. Yeah, commercial deals, and so she has 12 hotels in the state of what state is that? Tennessee. Yeah, 12 hotels in Tennessee that need solar. They've been looking for a commercial installer. And then she also has 2 commercial properties in Virginia. So she's running out the gates with full force, So we
You went on mute, Matt.
okay, can you hear me there?
Yep. Last thing we heard is that she came out the gate full force.
Yeah, she came out the gate full force. So we got a meeting with Wences to help us coordinate with those 12 commercial deals with our installer there. And yeah, she's already connecting us with one of her, I believe they do residential and commercial solar. And she also has another, it's a $5 million charge port station deal that she has as well. So she's getting us on the call with that person today. So yeah, she's moving quick. So, and she has a lot of people that she's going to be bringing on board. So we're excited to get on the call with her today and get her officially launched ASAP.
I can see her, doing some damage right away. I can see her build a 500 almost same day. You know what I'm saying? She got some heat. You know what I mean? So that's the cool thing about speed. I mean, like right now while you're here, your schedule, Roxy's schedule. What did y'all schedule look like this week?
Uh, Man, Texas
Yeah.
and calls and 3-ways all week.
And events too. We have
And events, yeah.
the senior center where we'll be presenting educating on solar, and then Thursday we have the realtor event where we're sponsors, and Matthew will be having 5 minutes of fame to speak to convince over 200 realtors to become builders.
There you go. And so guys, I'm like they send me the activity every day, right? And the activity they got coming up, and so I get a chance to see what they got going on. I get a chance to see what they need coaching on or what they may need advice on, and so a lot of you guys like to play peekaboo business, right? Like what you want to do is you want to go do business and then come back and say, look what I did, look what I did, instead of getting coaching and counseling on it, right? That's backwards. And instead of trying to impress your leader coming back with a done deal, the more impressive thing is to get coaching on it before you mess it up or even before you close it. Okay. That's being coachable and seeking counsel and mentorship, it's no different than three ways and lifelines, right? That's what impresses mentorship and coaching. And so anytime you don't get counseling, coaching, you don't do three ways and lifelines, it's 9 times out of 10 is ego. Okay. Yeah. 9 times out of 10 is ego. Just kind of give you a heads up on it. Newsflash. Right. And so take that for what it's worth. The people who are winning big in life, they always get coaching and counseling. People who make the most money always had the best mentors. Right. I'm talking about since day one. Go back and look at that that documentary on the men who built America, right? That documentary, it goes all the way back to Vanderbilt, the Smith, and Rockefeller, and Ford, and all these other, people who are iconic figures of U.S. history when it comes to being billionaires and how they got their start and what they went through. They all had some type of mentorship, all some type of connection to somebody who was a greater force financially and economically than them. And so it amazes me how people who make billions of dollars still seek guidance when people who haven't made, $250,000 in a year, um, you have a ego that'll keep you from getting to $250,000 a year, $500,000 a year, $1 million a year, right? It's it was a quote, and I said it by accident. This was years ago. Matter of fact, we were still in coffee, and I was in front of the room, and the quote, like, the way it came out and the context it came out in, I was on the stage and I had to scream out to the audience, "Hey, write that down," because I don't want to forget that. But you ever notice how broke people have the biggest egos? You ever notice that? Broke people have the biggest egos,
Mhm.
and they seem to know more than rich people, right? I don't get that. And so I'm just telling you, anytime you get ready to make a decision to not get counsel, not get mentorship, write that down and look at that quote. Okay. Broke people have the biggest egos, right? Just telling you. So, but I appreciate you, Matt. You know what I'm saying? You guys are rocking. You guys are killing it. And then also we did a three-way call. Matter of fact, Roxy, come off real quick and talk about a three-way phone call, because this is what I'm talking about. And this is a call. Remember, I had nothing to do with this deal. They were working on this deal. They did this without me because this is before me and them connected. But Roxy, tell them about the three-way yesterday, and y'all and both y'all can tell them what y'all learned on three-way, and then we'll move forward.
Oh, with Jade.
With the young lady, we did the game plan. Matter of fact, we did, yeah, the one we did with the young lady who has the goal to help women.
Oh yeah, yes, yes. Oh wow, that was it was a very in-depth three-way call because Mr. Bean not only able to connect with her in a really deep level, but take her to think bigger. He goes and he was asking her like, how many people can you bring? And she's like 20, and then he's like, no, let's think bigger. So taking her mind to, because she's already thinking big, but not big enough. So Mr. Bean was able to take her there and just to level it up, and bring game on. And he just was also able to edify Matthew and I and create value. So that also in turn made me realize how much value Matthew and I do bring to the table. So now I feel more confident in what I do bring into the table. So this is going to have a big shift for me moving forward with other people now. I don't think I had that shift before where I was like, oh shoot, I do bring some value to the table. So now I had a big shift in that three-way call.
What about you, Matt? What did you learn from the call? What did you pick up from the call?
Man, it's same how she was saying, is that you by edifying us as well, it's not only to bring the the impact to our person that we brought for the three-way, but also to us as well. It's also building us too, and letting us know, like, hey, you guys are doing things correctly, and for her to follow what we're doing, because what we're doing is working, because we're seeing the numbers, we're doing three-way calls, we're following the system there. And just thinking bigger in the way that you navigated the phone call, the way that you navigated it. It was smooth and it was to the point, and you got her to pull out what is her dreams, what is her goals, what in specifics. And you had mentioned, not a lot of people just put their goals out in specifics. They put it out in, oh, just by this month or this year, but it's not down to the number, not down to the T. It's not down to the financial number at the end of the month. So being able to get down to the specifics, being able to motivate by thinking bigger, and also edifying us as well, and letting her know what we're doing, but also on the back end, it's also motivating us, because you're giving us like the shout out there, like, hey, what you guys are doing is working, especially to the person that we brought in. So, once again, I appreciate that call yesterday, and I definitely learned a lot of nuggets there.
Yeah. It's this thing, you can't beat your own chest, with that prospect or that brand new person. And so that's why you edify the senior partner. The senior partner comes in and says, you know, I've been working with these people, they're killing it right now. And if you ever want to ever work with me, you're gonna have to follow their instructions first, basically. You're gonna have they're gonna have to report to me to let me know that you're worth my time at some point in time, right? So it puts them in a position where they know they can't circumvent rather, your leadership and come around you to get to me. And also, I don't do generalities. The people who don't have specific goals, that person's going nowhere fast. If you can't put a number on it, right? Then and it's just right now you're just in an environment with a lot of hope, but not a lot of direction, right? And so, like she said, I have a life coach, and I told her I can hear that. I can hear it in your spirit. You're a little different. But then now it's time for you to take it to the next level. I want to assure her that what we do here is a little different, right? And so the other thing is this, when you look at how people are getting started, you know, people are actually getting started basically on that three-way phone call. They join the company, but they get started on the three-way phone call because you're teaching them, how to behave, and you're giving them direction, you're giving them instructions, you teach them, because remember how people get into business is how they're going to run it, right? If you don't do a three-way with them, they'll never do a three-way with their people with you, right? And so you already are causing a cancer in your group. You're the problem at that point in time. So when they don't show up to the calls, they're not getting in on the events, they're not here on the trainings, they're not on the millionaire mentorship call. It's your fault. It's not their fault. Okay. Remember, who's the leader? The person who recruited them. Right. So you're either a good leader or you're a bad leader. You're a leader 100%. Right. But you're either a really good one or a really bad one. Right. And so that's why I say be on purpose when you're actually launching people. That's why I like when y'all got started with Wences, I wanted to make sure that y'all see, okay, so hey, they got started. They were getting off the ground, boom, boom, boom. Now I want to show them, how to take this thing to the next level, how to shift gears, and how to go ahead and now have conversations with people and lead them, through this process, because I'm giving her directions. Like, I can't help you achieve a goal that you don't have. You want to help a lot of people, but you only want to recruit 10. this month. I said, no, no, well, we can do better than that, And so you want to get 20? No, no, no. We got to, for me to do your call, because this is where you also have an opportunity to have posture and increase and show value for your time. You don't let people tell you how many people they're going to put on your call, unless it's a number that's bigger than what you were going to give them, right? And so, but no, no, now I can't do a call for 20 people. That's not what I do. Okay? Because I know if she's doing presentations, she's doing trainings, I mean, she's doing events, she's speaking on platforms, she's getting awards. Lady, I know you got way more access to people than that. No, you not. No, 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 no. You can't come to me like that, right? So, and it was done in a way that she can receive it, right? It wasn't done like, it's me. No, no, it was. No, babe, listen. You have the owner, one of the owners of the company on the call. You have one of the VPs on the call. I'm working, at this moment with you to help you launch your business. Okay. I'm gonna need you to see the value in that and have that conversation with these people. Let them know who you're connected with, right? And so you got to teach people how to treat you. You got to teach people how to edify you. If people mistreat you, it's your fault, not theirs. Okay? If people de-edify you, it's your fault, not theirs, right? And that's the culture and environment you got to start in your group because it's already here in the big group. You got to teach it and let it permeate down yours, right? But I appreciate y'all's humility and y'all's recognition for leadership, to even have me on a call doing a three-way for somebody that y'all recruited on y'all own. That just shows that you get it. Okay. So appreciate you, Matt. Johnny Montes. And then after Johnny, we got Brenda, and then we'll wrap it. We'll go into training.
Grand Rising, everybody. So wins for this week. I had an install.
Awesome. Awesome.
City Covina. Got a few contacts. Worked the neighborhood a little bit and got some contacts. I had 2 water sits with Delvon. One was over the phone. I use them for 3 ways. I'm a water mentor. I'm a mentee, excuse me. I'm a mentee all over again, and I love it. So we just coordinated a call, did a quick discovery, and he actually went all the way through. Got it all the way to credit check over the phone. No presentation, no nothing. Answered a few questions, failed credit. Had one yesterday. I sent out docs for 2 solar deals yesterday, a 2-for-1. So,
okay.
But I couldn't. I usually walk the homeowner through the agreement. We couldn't do it because I had to go to my water state with Delvon at noon. And I recruited my solar mentor, Mr. Jesse Rodriguez. When I came into the game, he was my mentor. And now I brought him in, and another solar pro, Mr. Charles Kang. But I'm really excited about both of them. Mr. Jesse Rodriguez is a firecracker, man. He's a car guy. Comes from the car background. He was in car sales for about 20 something years. Those car guys are, man. If you know anything about car guys, those guys are something else. Sharks.
Yeah.
Sharks.
Yeah.
But he's here for. Someone asked him, "Why'd you come over here?" He's like, "Look, bro, the mindset of the people that are here." He's been into some of our calls. I've been working on this guy for a while. Finally shook him up. He came through on Monday and signed up on the spot. So I'm pretty. I don't get excited very often, but I'm very excited about that.
I don't believe that. Every time I see you, you're excited.
It's a byproduct. It's a byproduct. I tell you, but I'm focused, Mr. Bean. I mean, I'm getting coaching from all you guys. I'm focused, and if I'm excited, it's a byproduct of me just being zoned in and doing the work.
You know what? Congratulations, first of all, on your install and then all the work you got going on, bro. Again, you show people that you believe in where you're at based on your actions, right? And most people don't understand that your activity shows the level of gratitude that you have for the opportunity that you have in your hands, right? So when you actually come in here and you bust your butt like you do, bro, it shows, it says thank you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing I tell people all the time. Stop saying thank you and start doing thank you. Right? Show people that you really do appreciate what they put on the table for you. If you were sitting there with Warren Buffett, right, and he brought you to the table, your face and head would be all up his butt because he's Warren Buffett, because he's got a name and because it's not tied to a direct sales corporation, but he's not coming, right? Builders here. You got an opportunity to go out here and change the like literally change your whole entire the next generations in your family coming going forward. I've been a part of that type of environment where people come for what they see on the Millionaire Mentorship call, not what they see on the presentation stage. You know what I'm saying? The presentation is what everybody has. The substance and the culture is what everybody lacks, right? And so when you're not adding, like one, if you're not on calls yourself, you have zero idea, the value what we have our hands on, and so you're already missing it. So if you're missing it, intentionally missing it, right? You're failing on purpose. You're losing by default. And you can never ever share the value of what we actually have, truly have, to anybody who's on the outside looking in. And what you are promoting is what you think they need, but what we are actually doing is what they're seeking, and they don't even know we have it because you're not emotionally sophisticated enough to even recognize it yourself. Okay. That's why, again, you have people who are in business, but they're not business people. Okay. That's why 95% of companies, traditional businesses, go out of business within the first 2 to 5 years. It ain't because of lack of money, it's because of lack of leadership. You are a business. 95% of y'all are already out of business. Like I'm talking about, when you look at your groups, 95% of your business is already out of business because they lack mentorship, they lack leadership. They've already closed their doors. Just like the restaurant across the highway. And my buddy say, like, man, let's meet over here at Swamp Chicken, one of our favorite places. And it's always enough a room, and the food is great. Horrible leadership. And 2 weeks ago, we went over there, and they were closed, right? And then he's like, hey, let's go to Swamp Chicken. I said, hey, call, because you know what happened last week. Now this week they got a message saying they closed permanently, right? And so they have amazing food, right? But they have horrible leadership. We have amazing services, but we have, again, horrible business people. That's the thing, guys. I'm telling you, it's getting rich is extremely, subtle. It's one of those things that is right there in front of you, but most people miss it because you're leaning on your own thought process. Like Napoleon Hill said, people, make the biggest mistakes, in their lives when they think for themselves. And the reason why they make the biggest mistake in their life when they think for themselves is because they think the advice that they are using, is great advice because they're the ones giving it to themselves. So, lean on not lean, how to say lean on somebody else's understanding, not on your own. That's in a couple of books that I've read, at least one for sure. You know, so I appreciate what you that part right there. I would always use the millionaire mentorship calls that our leader in our last company did as a recruiting tool. Matter of fact, almost every time he posted something, I would actually go and tag somebody in one of his Facebook posts. Say, hey man, look at this quote. This is who I'm attached to. Hey, watch this video. This is who I'm attached to. Because see, I have zero ego, right? And so I turn people. I want you to see who I'm attached to. If you was riding, if you ladies was riding around, with J Lo, y'all was getting ready to go kicking, and y'all be taking videos and taking and photos and selfies and y'all at a Rockets game or a Knicks game or something, and you get the superstar right there, you want to take a photo. Man, it's not going to make you any money. But the superstar that's over here want to do presentations for you, want to do three ways and lifelines for you, you de-edify that person. For somebody who's going to take your money, make you pay $500 for a seat or $1,000 for a seat, right? Or Chris Brown, $1,000 to come get a picture and breaking up families. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do as a human being, as an emotionally unsophisticated human being. You throw money away in your life, just like you throw money away in this business by not doing it. That that millionaire mentorship call, these things that we have going on, man, I'm just telling you, like these Saturday morning calls, people want substance. People are looking to be led, right? And so when people see that it's not just a company that sells solar or they have something else, and I'm not talking about water, they actually have leadership, they have vision, they have things that we can tap into, things that can help me grow as a father, help me grow as a mother, right? Help me grow in my community, help me actually increase my value to society where now I can increase my revenue. You know, that's what you have to start selling. Y'all selling the wrong thing. Okay. So we just happen to have solar and water and security and residuals, but we are a leadership and personal development company. And until you get that, you're gonna cost yourself millions of dollars. Because I'm gonna tell you, for those of you who've been in the company 3 to 6 to 9 months, 12 months, and you haven't got that yet, you've already cost yourself millions of dollars. Because had you got that day one and been and walking in that from day one, you would have been attracting leaders to the company, not salespeople. You're going after salespeople who don't care anything about leadership. You become a leader, you attract leaders who will attract salespeople and build your organization for you. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it backwards. Right? Crowdsource your group by becoming a leader and attracting people who can bring people. If you want the church, you get the pastor. Okay, that's if you want the realtors, you get the broker. If you want the lenders, you get the broker. You always go to the head. You get the head, the body will follow. Right? You want the masses, get the networker. But they're not coming to you if you're not a leader. If they can't see themselves being led by you and put themselves like, if I can't put my people in front of you, I ain't gonna do it. You better have somebody stronger, bigger, and more talented and more elevated than you, or that person's never come into business with you. Right? Remember, you're a person who's in the company. There are people that tell Winston, JC, myself, no, right? And we're at the top of the company. So if they're telling us no, right, at the top of the company, they're definitely gonna tell you no if you're not leadership worthy. So wrap your mind around that part right there. That's the leadership development is crucial, right? Millionaire mentorship calls, get on them, live on them, right? Learn from them. So one day you can actually do them, and we can be confident putting you up on the stage to do it. All right. I appreciate you, Johnny. And last but not least, Miss Nava. Brenda.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. I just want to say thank you to you and Miss Bean, first of all, for everything that you guys are doing for not only us, but I don't know if you guys are noticing, them helping everybody else and people coming in. I do want to congratulate Johnny, Roxy, Matthew, and other people that are out there. Building, but that being able to work with you for the first time, like I've known you for the longest time, but I didn't have the opportunity to work with you directly until Build. But I've admired you and Miss Bean since I saw you guys. And for those of you that have been working with you guys, I'm seeing a lot of it's like like when they say I don't know how to say in English, but anyways, I'm seeing a lot of growth, and we need to take advantage, of everything that's happening. And for those of you that have been connected to Miss Bean and Mr. Samuel Bean, come on, we got to step it up. Um, I'm seeing everybody's motivating me. Everybody is just like, I'm starting all over today, and I'm gonna rewrite everything again today because of everything that I'm seeing. I think we are not personally, I've been kind of down because of some health issues, but going to restart my business today. I did have something personal going on, and then part of it also affected the business. But just seeing how Mr. Bean took that approach and took his leadership. Not only is he trying to get us to where we need to be and where this opportunity is going to take us to be, because there's nothing like what we have in our hands, but everything he's doing for us, just the overall the protection that he's given us. To me, it was like he's protecting me, and I take it to heart because sometimes we don't speak up or we don't say stuff because we just that's just the way we think, and we have to think bigger. We have to think faster too. But seeing what he did this week for me and my team was just incredible. I can't thank you enough. Just having those eyes over me, watching not only me but everybody else, and in general, the whole company, because of what things that were going on. I really appreciate you, and I want you to know from the bottom of my heart, I thank you and Miss Bean for everything you're doing. I haven't taken the the advantage I need to take, or I guess I haven't done what I need to do to show, who I am and the type of leader that I need to be. But I'm so blessed to have fallen into you guys' hands. And I just want to say to everybody, if you guys have the privilege and the honor to be mentored by him, don't take it for granted. I think some of us were taking it for granted, and I include myself on that. Because sometimes I think I can do everything and I can solve things, and I can't. I can't. So, um, seeing everything in the evolution and everything what we're doing, and seeing these leaders popping up, um, seeing his leadership, seeing how he's training them. Again, people, we have to step up to the game. We have to be leaders. We have to be reading those books that they mentioned. I'm deep into the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership right now. I think it's time for all of us to step up as leaders and carry, some of the weight with us too, and show, what we're made of. And it's because of the leadership we have. But I do want to thank you, Mr. Bean, for everything you have done for me. And I'm starting all over again. I'm starting all over. That's a commitment I have for myself and my goals. And, my why has to be bigger. And the goal is to get the 10 people in the next 30 days, like you had mentioned. We do have to, it's not that hard, like you had mentioned, to get to build it 500 in 30 days. So we have to think about the why, like you had said, it's done like yesterday, period. You mentioned that, and that's what I'm working on. So we have to create a lot of opportunities to build opportunities, and that's what I'm doing. But again, I just wanted to say thank you for everything you have done, and congrats to everybody else.
That's what I'm talking about. And again, guys, remember you as a leader, when you recruit somebody, you take their life into your hands, basically. That person pretty much believes in you and says, you know what, I can be doing anything else with anybody else, but I believe in you when you said, hey, I can make X, Y, and Z amount of money, okay, or I can do this, we can do this and help you retire your husband or your wife, or we can do this and put your kids through college. You know, people are counting on that. They're betting on that, and you have to look at people more than just a builder pack, more than just a subscription, and more than just somebody who's going to help you build your life, right? Focus on everybody else's life, and you never have to worry about yours, And so that's not just a cliche saying. I live that. I put everybody else's family first, okay, before mine, so mine will never be last. Okay? And so that's the thing that you when you walk into that, when you walk in that, and that people see that, and they respond to that, they join that, and they're motivated by that, they believe in that, and you get the best out of them because of that, right? And so to the point to where you have to actually watch it sometimes, because sometimes people get used to that and they take it for granted, right? And so, but I rather have it that way than the other way, because you can always help somebody come back to reality. You can always help somebody humble themselves. You can always help somebody realize, what you're doing for them by not doing it for them anymore and start doing it for somebody else, right? And so that's easy. The other way, having to force somebody to do it, or feel some kind of way about you, that's the hard part. Okay. And so again, I appreciate you, Brenda, and what you said, and that again, that don't go on deaf ears, but that's just who we are. That's how, because I've been in a situations in this industry, or in the industry of direct sales and network marketing, and it didn't end so well, and so yeah, everybody gets manipulated, mistreated, abused, and sometimes time, and you think that you're with good people until until they have to show you who they are, right? And so you're always meeting somebody's representative. You don't ever want to be that person where they said, man, this person is not who I actually enrolled with. This person is not who I signed up with, right? And you see that on a regular basis. And so appreciate that. But yeah, every day, in this industry, guys, you can start over 25 days, 7 days a week. It's just you now making a decision, because it's a difference between joining and making a decision. Okay? You got an enrollment, you got a builder pack, you signed up. People sign up for cons, sign up for what is that? The SAMs, they sign up. They sign up for memberships all the time, and so this is a gym membership. They sign up for gym memberships all the time, and so at the end of the day, you want to do more than just sign up, right? You want to make sure that people commit and connect, and you want to make sure you get in there and get it in. So appreciate you guys. It's a great way to start the morning off. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and jump into the training and talking about having people's lives in your hands. Um, one of the best ways to make sure that you get prepared for that is by doing game plan sessions with people, actual game plan session. Because what most people do is they get individuals started, they make sure they get the back, they get, they don't walk them through the back office or nothing, they don't give them any instructions. They pretty much make sure they got their ID, they're in the system, and basically they're off to the next person. Okay. Basically a pack collector, right? And so that's not what we want you guys to be. We want to make sure you guys are responsible for the people who you bring in. So when it comes to your game planning, um, you really want to turn that game planning into a master class. Okay. And so you want to be able to go back and have a person retrace their steps, right? And even have a person record it. And because what happens is this: when they record it, they have it to go back to and listen to. They have it to go back for you to send them to when they make a commitment within that game planning session that they forgot about, right? Or they just tend to neglect, and you can send them back to that resource, right? But also, when these people start getting people started, you can send them back to that recording as well and say, look, remember when we got you started, we didn't do that to you, right? This is what we did. This is what we talked about. This is what, and now you have a source, right? But just the mentality before you go into a game plan session, just know that you're responsible, right? You wouldn't. How many of you guys, bring a kid into this world and just let them raise themselves, and you just leave them, to do their own thing? None of them. Remember, it's the same way when you bring a person into business. Why would you leave them? It's a kid. It's a baby. You know what I'm saying? A person doesn't know anything about what they're doing, right? They're in a foreign territory. They didn't ask to be here. You asked them to be here, right? You brought them into this world right here, right? So you need to take the responsibility, at that point in time for the new builder that you birthed. Okay. And so that's how I look at it. Right. So also you want to make sure when it comes to prepping and the mindset, you want to make sure that you create your next business success and team, because this is why you're doing the game plan. Rather, why you're doing the game plan session is to create your next business success in your team. It's also where you give them their blueprint to success and collect intel, right? To create an independent and duplicatable business partner. And then the final thing is to tell them what they can expect from you, and then validate it by allowing them to watch you do it yourself. So what I'm saying is don't have someone, doing something that you wouldn't do yourself or something that you're not already doing. Hey, don't go out there and say, hey, do as I say, not as I do. Right. And so when I say go do presentations, I'm doing presentations. Okay. Yeah, I'm not telling you to do it, but I say go be, be on a millionaire mentorship call. I'm actually doing a millionaire mentorship call, or I'm on it, right? So you want to make sure you're doing exactly what you are telling them to do. Okay. Hey, build a 500. We got to get you to build a 500. It's a little bit easy to teach a person how to get to build a 500 with credibility and authenticity if you are at build a 500. Okay. Getting four, what I'm saying? Like, let's get you to build the four. And think about it. If you don't have four right now, hurry up and get four. So now you have the ability to say that with authenticity, right? You want to make sure anything and everything that you're promoting, you want to make sure that you're on your way doing it, and they can see that you're on your way doing it. They can see you doing presentations every day, and you're one person away from building from getting four, or you're two or three people away from getting the build a 2,000 like Angel, and they know for a fact she's grinding. And so when she's talking about, Mr. Bean said get the build a 2,000 before a convention, that's my next step. I'm almost there. And so she can say that with authenticity, even though she's not there right now, right? She can say, get the bill to 8,000 with authenticity because she's doing presentations every day. They can see her team sees her, and other people in other teams sees her out there with the evidence, validation, right? And so to the point to where, she's giving other people advice. And so you want to be that person. You want to be the source. So um, when you look at the conscious interrupt side of this thing, there are things that you want to know about that most people don't understand. First of all, And network marketing, the numbers are important. You got to know human beings and human behavior. 70% of the people who join a network marketing company, that was the last thing that they did was join. Okay. So you had 30% of the people who did more than just joined, right? And if you're really good, you'll get 30%. If you're great, you'll get 35 or 40. But and that great means that you're a 5% or better. I could say 10%, maybe 10% or better, right? A person who's actually grinding, getting it in, has results, a person who understands how to get a person launched and get their business off the ground, right? But 70% of the people, last thing they do is get that link, and that's the last time you'll see them or hear from them. Okay? The other 30%, guys, you want to make sure that you understand you have about 72 hours while their commitment is high, while the excitement level and commitment level is high. You only have about 72 hours to get them a story, get them a result, right? So knowing this going in, I got to get them a result. Knowing this going in, I got to get them, um, certified right away. Going in, I got to get them, on the Millionaire Mentorship call right away, or the next event right away. Got to get them a ticket for the biggest event right away. I got to get them. I got to get them a recruit right away. I got to get them a confirmation for their call that they're going to be doing right away. I got to, and that's the thing. You got to get them a result right away, right? Because when you get them a result right away, and within that first 72 hours, you don't have to worry about them checking out. You don't want to have to worry about them going into the witness protection program. Because now, you know, the best thing happened to them when it comes to a lot of y'all is that they signed up as the affiliate and they didn't waste no money. They said, boy, I dodged the bullet. Oh boy, they almost had me for $200 and $100 a month, right? And so, and so I'm just telling you, that's how they look back and be like, man, I knew I wasn't gonna do that. No, I knew I shouldn't have signed up, and I'm glad I got the affiliate. Right. So you get them in, boom, 72 hours, get them on some calls, get them now to building toward what they said they like best, building toward the goal that they're gonna give you. Right. So 72 hours. The only way you can actually do that again is by plugging them into the system and helping them get the results before they check out. That's why we talk about the Millionaire Mentorship call when Johnny was talking about that, and that was the difference maker. The Millionaire Mentorship call and calls like this is what buys you time with your people, right? It keeps them in long enough because this is value that they're getting that takes the place of the lack of earnings, right? If a person's not earning something, they're not earning money, but they are tied to something that they have value for that they would normally have to pay for or normally not have access to, they'll hang around for that, right? A lot longer, a lot longer sometimes than they will for money, right? And so know that. Let's see here. Yeah, launch. When you actually have your launch guest confirmations, that's a way getting them to get confirmation. Money, enrollments, customers, purchase, event tickets, selling us, get them to buy a service. Get them to buy a shower head, right? Something, right? Give them. Which one of these projects? Which one of these verticals you want to focus on? The water. Love the water. Okay, well, great. Let's go ahead and get you qualified for the water top. One, because you need it. Two, because it's going to help you market it. You're going to be a much better salesperson, when you actually have it yourself. I said, matter of fact, my wife and I just got it. We haven't even taken it out the box because we want to do a video to show everybody we got it. We want to unbox it. And so I want you to be able to do that and put that on your channel, right? And so what you're doing is you're protecting them from themselves. This is not manipulation. Okay. So stop looking at me like that. I'm just kidding. So, but you want to put them in a position, right, where you get them tied, to the system. Remember, this is a volunteer army, guys. This is not a job. A person can quit on you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You have to be, again, you got to be on your game. You got to be on purpose. Okay. That's why your conversations have to be intentional. When I was asking Roxy's person and Matt's person, hey, well, what are your goals and your dreams? And what now? And then she was talking about what she wanted to do for women. So what do you want to do for yourself? Nobody's ever really asked her that before because she had a problem answering it, right? And so I made her think about herself and what do you want to do for you? I know what you want to do for the women, but what do you want to do for you, right? And then I made her quantify it. And so now I'm putting her in a state of mind where I just joined Matt and Roxy. I know them, and now they got this other person who they really respect. This guy's asking me what I want to do for myself, and now I'm what we call anchoring her into the business, right? Anchoring her mentally and emotionally into this space, right? And so I'm making her understand that we're here to help you get these goals that you're about to give me once you define them. Okay. But I need you to define them. So again, these are conversations, that's important. You also want to make sure that you get permission, because get ready, because like I said, when they go into the witness protection program, and they will, if they don't get out the gate real fast, they're gonna find something easy to do, it's find something better to do or something that's more important at that point in time. Ask them, say, sometimes things get rough, and sometimes you might not see the results that you want. And when go into a witness protection program and you come off the grid, I'd like to know that instead of having to put your face on a milk carton, that I'd be able to call you and you'd be able to pick up. Can you do that for me? Can we have that agreement right now? That if I call you, you pick up, right? Ask for permission. And like I said, make a joke about it, but ask, because when you don't ask and this is coming, right? You have foresight, right? It's been happening, your whole entire career. When you ask for permission and they don't pick up, you can send them text message, say, I know you saw me call you. You gave me permission to call you, so pick up the phone. You know what I'm saying? Don't go back on your word, right? So again, these are just things, also showing and shadowing. Showing and shadowing. So when you look at one second. So some of you may or may not be in a position to where you feel confident enough to do a game plan session and you call on your senior partner. Okay. That's fine. Okay. But just know you'll be doing them because your senior partner doesn't work for you. They work with you. And that's not that anything after one or two game plan sessions basically is manipulation and abuse. Okay. So be learning. So if you're on there, you're shadowing. This ain't mentoring where you get paid half the deal for giving it, but for handing it off. You know what I'm saying? He just will do every one of them, because he get paid half at 50%. Yeah, I do it. Keep them coming. You know what I'm saying? Keep them coming, right? So, but this is game planning sessions. This is, let's make sure we don't abuse. But when you actually are in that position where you are shadowing, take good notes and let them see you take good notes, right? And just in that point in time, show the edification that they need to see while you're not interrupting. And when it's done, only after it's done, ask questions that are commonsensical questions that relate to business and say, that's a question. Why did you say this? And this is interesting. And something where a person's like, what? Wow, it's really good to see that Roxy's asking this question. It's really good to see that Jarek is asking this question. I mean, you know what? It's really good to see that Ava is taking this thing serious and she's asking questions. She's a student of the situation. You know, you're not asking questions that'll create an objection for a person. Okay. You just ask a question. You know what? Are you making a statement? So I never knew, this, that, and other. And I appreciate. I'm glad I'm here, and I appreciate you doing this for me. That type of thing. Um, so showing and shadowing. So sometimes you're going to, so if you're brand new, you may be the messenger. You may not be the message, but at some point in time, you'll evolve to it. Next thing is this mental. We still mentally and mindset and prep. Know this. There are four things that that you always want to know. That they always want to know. Rather, they always want to know does this person care for me? Okay. Does this person really genuinely care about me and what happens to me? Okay. Two, can this person help me? Is this person capable of getting me to my goals? Three, does this person have integrity? Because again, you don't want to come off as slick, right? Really good at what you do. You know the presentations, you know the conversation, but you talk real fast, you talk real slick, and then everything is it feels like a get you gotcha. You know what I mean? And so Yeah, again, that's the thing that you want to make sure your delivery is being, your delivery is sent to them in a way that they can receive it, and it lands on their spirit in a way that they're not alarmed or alerted. Yeah, and so and then last thing, because it can be a false positive, basically, you know what I'm saying. So you don't want to, a false negative, whatever. So you don't want a person, even though you have the right heart, you don't want to send the wrong message, right? Uh, can I trust them with my resources? Okay. Can I trust them? Because now, you have people where people will steal people's deals, steal people's people. It's a lot of different things, go behind their back and start calling a group and stuff like that. Can I trust this individual with my resources? Right. And speaking of resources, period. There are three things that people are always in competition for when it comes to you and your resources. Okay. One, everybody's in competition for your money. Everybody wants your subscription. Everybody wants your tithes and offerings. Everybody wants your money for a donation. You get phone calls from the sheriff's department. Right? You get hit up at the basket, for the tithes and offerings. I'm joking. I'm not joking, but I'm joking. You know what I'm saying? Don't take it personal. I'm just telling you, everybody's in competition for everybody wants your money. Right? That's why most of us don't have it, because everybody know figured out how to get it. Right? And so also the other thing that they're in competition with is your time. That if you ever notice, and I go back to churches, you know, a church got something for you to do 7 days a week. You got an usher boy meeting today, you got a deacon boy meeting today, you got choir rehearsal today, they got you at church all day, 24 hour day, 7 days a week, because they want to make sure you're married to the church. You will not skip out and go and go and cheat on them with another pastor. We just keep everybody here, and then we'll build this environment, build this culture, and have everybody volunteer, have everybody recruit, and have everybody, and we're gonna grow our congregation, but your time, and then your people. They want access to your Rolodex. They want access to everything that's in your phone, right? Because those resources that are in your phone are assets, potential assets to them. Okay, who do you know, right? Refer this person to me, right? And so they want access. Remember, Kyrie is the best at it. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the best at it. Kyrie is always on the referrals, right? And so those are the things. That's why when people ask themselves, can I trust them with my resources? Right? You need to be believable, need to be trustworthy. Um, when it comes to mentality, also, you want to make sure that you always show value, for what you have, show value, for your time, show value and posture, for your time, posture as well. Because again, people will treat you how you allow them to treat you, and they will disrespect you how you allow them to disrespect you. And anything that happens to you in that situation is your fault. 100%, right? 100%. I teach people. I've always one side. I got it off of at a leadership meeting when a mentor said that you need to teach people how to treat you, right? Had family members who literally would ask for money all the time, borrow money all the time, never pay it back, and to say, look, this is what you do: teach people how to treat you. Tell them I don't loan money, and tell them why. And I'm like, wow. And he went through this whole entire training I'm not going to do right now for another day. But the moment I did that, nobody asked me. I hadn't had people ask me to borrow a dime in my family for over a decade. Try that. I'm telling you, taught me how to say no, right? I'm just taught me how to teach people how to treat my wife because she's an extension of me, right? So I'm just telling you, you posture value for you, your time, and this company will take you a long way in that event, right? And so you won't have people wasting your time. You won't have people, booking meetings and canceling. That's another thing. Um, Book a meeting. If a person books a meeting with you and they don't have value and they cancel on you, I'm not giving people meetings again. Like I said, it's one of those things where you take full advantage of the meeting I give you, because there's not another one behind it. The only way you get another meeting is by showing up at that one and blowing that one out the water. Okay. If you commit to it, make it happen. Okay. Outside of something tragic happening or something really, really bad that's unforeseen happens, yeah, we're not going to do that, because Once I take that time and you take your time off of that calendar to give to somebody else, and that person cancels on you at the last minute, guess what? You can no longer get paid for that unit of time because it's last minute. You can't do anything with that time. That's wasted time, right? And so now that's disrespect of your time and yourself. So don't be doing a whole lot of rescheduling and coming up with people's excuses. Remember, somebody's always buying, somebody's always selling. So make it clear when I book times, I don't rebook. So make this meeting. So make sure that this is the time that you're going to show up. Okay. Make it clear, because if you don't make it clear and they cancel on you, it's your fault. Okay. So take responsibility. So let's see here. Oh, this is where now when we talk about creating value, tell stories that you hear about in the company, right? And so you're talking to a solar pro. Yeah, we got people in the company that have already hit $100,000 in a month. And we have people right now. We have a ton of people right now who are already projected multiple six figures a year, right? Part time. And we have people who have never recruited anybody right now who are some of the biggest recruiters in the company. We have people who never sold anything and give names, right? That's why I use Sarah's name a lot. That's why I use a lot of people's names. And then I use a lot of stories without names, right? For specific reasons, right? But again, it's like that's how you give value, and how you can have posture, how you can stand on it, right? That's why I said some of you have ammunition that you don't use, and you lose posture, you lose positioning, you lose value. There's nowhere in the world. My last mentor that I had, the moment he became the VP of sales at that company, that was my leading point. I'm starting there. If you're gonna sit down with him, first of all, you have to qualify to sit down with him. One. And so, because other than that, if you're unqualified, then this is moot conversation. We're going to change the conversation. No, you can't meet with him. Yeah, I have no problem telling people now you're not ready for that meeting right now. That time, that value right now, he's worth X, Y, and Z amount of money per hour. Okay. And neither one of us can afford that. So, we're not gonna do that one. So this is what we can do though to get you a moment with him at some point, right? If we're lucky, we do this, that, and the other. I may be able to get you on the phone with him. Angel is one of the best at that. She's so anal about it. Sometimes I have to shake her up a little bit. Hey, 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 loose the filter, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, relax, relax. Hey, but Mr. Bean, this relax, man. I gotta talk to somebody, Angel. Angel won't let me talk to nobody. Like she protects her time. Like, hey, a little excessive. You feel me? Hey, can I talk to somebody? And like somebody. So, but I appreciate it. I'd rather rein her in and back her off than her just open up the floodgate and have me talking to everybody who are not qualified, who wasting my time when I could be talking to one of y'all qualified people. Okay. So that's important. But stories, right? And I was talking to a networker last night, and this guy here, he actually owned a network marketing company before. He's been out of networking for about 2 years. He's just relaxing, enjoying his grandkids, and he's expecting one in moments right now, which is why he's with his family. But he called me because his son-in-law was a real huge solar pro, and um, he was with this solar company. He's one of the biggest guys, one of the top producers in the region and in the industry for a long time. And then he went opened up his own company. He sold off the company, made millions of dollars, came back. Now he's a solar pro over at Freedom, but I didn't know he was solar pro at Freedom. Guys got some monstrous numbers, right, in a short period of time. So he hit me up because he saw me and he's like, hey man, look, I think I've done business with you. I love how you do business. And my son-in-law is over here doing this. And there may be some synergy, that you guys can create together. And so when I talked to him about everything we had, and it hit me that he was talking about them being a solar pro and actually having a special deal with Freedom. I was like, there's no way he's coming over here. I get that part. And so we're not even gonna have a conversation about that part. But this is the thing. We sell water. We still have water. We have security, but we have Ripple coming, and then we have residuals. And he said, you know what? I'm going to get him on the phone. As a matter of fact, I might even take a position and override it. And so, because a lot of this stuff y'all are doing remote. They're still going door to door and sitting in living rooms and all this other stuff. He said they want me to do that. I'm like, I'm too old. He said, I'm too old to do that, but I can do the remote stuff like you're doing. And so, and I'll have a conversation. So once he has his son and his grandson, his son-in-law has a son and he has his grandson. We're going to have a conversation again and see what we can do to bring them on board and for us to partner together. And so, you know, those stories, that you're telling people, being able to articulate what you have with extreme value. I sent him a screenshot of that same residual income slide that I talk about subscriptions on in our presentations, right? And I said, let me ask you a question, Jay. You've grown groups, you've had millions of people in your organizations and in your companies. As a company person who actually paid out comp plans to people, if I had 20,000 people in one of your companies, how much money would I normally make in residual income? He said probably about, if you had 20,000 active, he said you probably make about between 75,000 to $100,000 depending on how much product you move. And I said, okay, so let me show you what 20,000 people do over here. And he looked at that chart. He saw $250,000 and about lost it. And this is a person who owns companies and understands comp plans. And so, but I understand comp plans. I can count. And so that's all I needed to show him, on top of everything else that we had to offer. So get real familiar with and get real good at telling stories when it comes to, when you're sitting down, um, creating value and being on purpose and posture. Last thing before we just talk about the actual game plan conversation, give people homework assignments. Okay, if a person is going doing a game plan session with you or your senior partner, make sure they show up with their list, or their CRM. They have CRM, that's great. They have a list, that's great. But make sure they show up with it. Also, make sure that you instruct them that they're going to be a builder to get a calendar, a month at a glance calendar, right? So you can show them, or your a senior partner can show them what it's going to be used for, because they're going to be able to blueprint that person's work ethic and that income off of that, off of that calendar. You also want to make sure they go and find a journal at some point in time as well, okay? Because I want to know that you're taking notes, and I want to know that you're actually putting yourself in a position where everything that we're going to be teaching you and pouring into you, you actually have somewhere to put it and be able to go back to it, okay? And so those are things you want them to show up with, to the game plan session. It can be on the way. The calendar could be on the way. The journal, you can go get that the same day before you show up. But give people things to do. Figure out, how in tune they are, how committed they are, and that'll show you. That'll tell you. If that's people, I don't know about the calendar. They don't know about that person may not be as serious. That may be a sign, right? So, because you're the leader, you're showing them how to make money. So when it comes to the actual game plan, guys, you want to spend some time. You want to get to know them. You really don't get overly familiar and overly comfortable. Some of y'all make friends immediately, and that's the worst thing you can ever do. When you get too familiar with a person and you allow them to get too familiar with them and without barriers, it's okay to get them to like you. It's not okay to get them to be your friend day one, because now you can't move them. Now you can't lead them. There's nothing that you can do to help that person. Now you ruined it. Okay? Because people don't respect their friends in business. Okay? It's okay to become friends after that respect has been established. And because you got friendship, you got business, and you got mentorship. Those are the three categories, of relationships that you have in business. In the start, there should never be a friendship. Friendship should be the last thing that you actually do, and that's not even a mandatory thing. Okay. So if I get you to make money and we turn around one day and we become friends, that's icing on the cake. But you didn't join this business to be my friend. When you actually do it in reverse, there's nothing I can do for you. There's nothing you can do for that person. So get to know them, get to know their family, their spouse's name, kids' name, and ages. Okay. You want to know who you're working for. You want to know who, because all these things are going to be things that you're going to have to remind them of. We're doing this for them. As a matter of fact, when we take time away, you're taking time away from them. All those goals and dreams you have, they're surrounded by them. And so they're allowing you to actually build your business. And so you get a chance to come back to that, but getting to know them, getting to know their family, getting to know the things that they like, appreciate, the things they really want to do, things they want to aspire to do, what motivates them, and because without a motive, guys, there's no motivation, there's no movement. Okay, so that's important. Let's see here, and also getting to know them, and from that perspective, at some point in time when they like you and respect you, and you got to know them and vice versa, that ends up being the glue to that relationship at one time, and that keeps them in the business a little bit longer, buys you more time as well. Okay. Um, let's see here. This, it's not when you go to be popular. So this is also where you want to instill the independent mentality. You want to make sure that you create a philosophy with them directly, immediately, that I'm helping you out the gate, but I'm not going to build it for you. Okay. I want you to be independent because I want you to not just, be able to control your own destiny, but I want you to be able to be prepared and equipped to help other people build their businesses as well. Is that fair? Right? Oh yeah, that's fair. Okay, great. Most people say, yeah, that's fair. That's fantastic. Right? Okay, cool. So, but you want to make sure you get that established out the gate, because you'll have people cracking the whip on you and being mad because you're not available to do a presentation for them one day. Right? And so you don't work for them, you work with them. And they should understand that. But that's the way you manage the expectations, guys. And my goal is, again, to make sure that you are independent as quickly as possible. Back office guys, that's cool. Get them open, make sure they understand it. For me, I don't do a lot of back office trainings, but I want to make sure that if they have any questions about it, I'm able to answer them. Okay. And so now when it comes to the thing about the back office, I will have them open up their back office and show them how to add people in, show them their enrollment links, show them the corporate links, and also let them know I don't send anybody to my corporate link. I send it. The only link I give people is to my enrollment link. I also show them how to move their, toggle back and forth on how people are placed, as far as out the gate. I always show them how to stack. I have a conversation with them about the common leg and the uncommon leg, the bank leg and the pay leg, and how to, put people in and place people when you get them, and how to counsel when you do that as well. That's important because, again, you want people to have a good understanding on where to place people, right? Um, Certification, that's another thing. Show them what a certification is so they can get certified right away, and talk them through that, let them know how simple it is. Okay. Oh, the other thing they should bring, I forgot to say, is goals. Make sure that they bring their goals to the meeting as well. So when they get to the meeting, they got the goals, they got the list, and you want to go over the goals because the goals are important. Okay. Goals are what you use for leverage. So when they're not doing anything, I say, hey, Chris, you remember that day we sat down and had your game plan session, and you said that you wanted to make $10,000 a month, and you wanted to be billed to 8,000, and you was willing to do 4 presentations a week to get there. Yeah, I remember that. So I'm looking at your calendar right now. I see basically you're doing probably about 2 presentations a month, and we haven't been doing any three ways lifelines. You know, were you serious about that build 8,000 and that $10,000 a month, or were you just joshing? Okay. Do we need to change your goal to meet your activity, or should we change your activity to meet your goal? So okay, so those are goals. Okay, and so your goals are what I actually use to motivate you, but also that's what I know what we're working for. So when I'm working with you, we're working towards your goal, not mine. Okay. But goals are very, very important, guys. But when you ask, just make sure when they talk about the goals, how much they want to make a month. Um, what do you see the company doing for you and the family? Okay. Show them how to make money right now, which is another thing. And you just want to set the standard. Now, there are some things that you want to hit, give them some goals. You want to give them some goals right away as well. Those goals are basically, one, making sure that they get their forward pay no more. Three, two, get some sales on anything. It's not just solar anymore. It used to be get 3 solar sales. You can go get 3 water sales or 5 water sales. You can go get some Ripple sales or whatever, or some ADT sales. Get some sales. Sell something. Okay. You also want to make sure that if there's an event that's looming, that a ticket is available to be purchased, get them to purchase it right away. It's like them going to college. For those of you who went to college, your freshman year, you bought everything on like immediately. Nobody had to tell you this. You got your dormitory room knocked out. You got your meal hall ticket money knocked out. You got anything. All the books were paid for. They're at the highest level of commitment at that point in time. They're excited about this new journey, and they're willing to do anything that they're coached to do. So again, make sure that they understand that part, right? So tell them, make sure that they look before, make sure they get that ticket, pay that ticket right away. And when they actually have people coming on board, guess what? Their people are going to buy tickets as well. Okay, it's easier to promote when a person wants to be promoted to when they're open. So and give them those instructions. Make sure they're on the Millionaire Mentorship call. Make sure they're on this call, right? The remember, if they didn't need it, they'd already be extremely wealthy. You probably wouldn't even be in this business. You know, I'm just saying, if they were, they'd be here for a referral source, not because they need the money. Okay, so everybody should be on these calls because that's some things they learn that's not taught in general population. So going over their goals and everything, and making them quantify the goals and make sure that they're making goals for their family members as well as themselves and make sure that when they have them tell their family members that, hey, look, this is what I'm going to do for you in this business. I'm going to do this with this company. Um, Manage and set their expectations, guys. And this is something where we got to get away from the hype. Telling people, hey, look, this is how much money you're gonna make right away: $10,000 a month in 30 days, $25,000 a month, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months. Stop it. Okay. This is where you really and truly, because a person tell me, hey, look, I want to make $100,000 a month. Perfect. Have you ever made $100,000 a month before? No, 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 no. Okay. What's the most amount of money you ever made in your life, per year? I make $100,000 a year. Okay, great. So this is what we're gonna do. It's possible for you to make $100,000, but it's not probable at this point. Okay. So let me show you how to be the prototypical business model. The way we get people to $100,000 a month here is by making sure they get to $1,000 a month and then master teaching that. Make sure they get to $500 a month and then master teaching that. Make sure they get to $2,000 a month, then master teaching that. And then one day you'll wake up at $100,000 a month, and guess what? You'll exceed that goal, and maybe one day get to $250,000 a month. So, but let's start off here. Let me show you how to do this, right? And then what you do is you'll teach everybody else that. So now you become omnipresent. You have businesses growing all over the U.S., people selling stuff all over the U.S., people enrolling people all over the U.S., and now you wake up one day at $100,000 a month. But let's crawl before we walk. Okay. So manage the expectations. So give people, if they're going to be doing a launch, name the launch. Project 500 is the one I'm using. 500 is a significant number because 500 is a six-figure income. Okay. And so that's something that people can see. Some of y'all are giving people goals that are over their head. Like, I don't talk to people who make $10,000 a month about making $35,000, $45,000 a month, $50,000 a month. If I'm talking to people who make $10,000 a month, I'm talking to them about making $5,000 a month. I'm builder 4,000. Okay. But let's get you to build 1,000 first, build 2,000 first. And then, but I'm talking about an extra $4,000, $5,000 a month, right now. They can see that. They can't see the other. Get them to where they can see it's a peak to peak situation. Remember, you're leading them from one point to another, right? This is how people trust you. When you come in and you gassing people up, but man, it's like I can say, my goal is to be a $250,000 a month based on what I've accomplished in my resume, right? And some people will believe it, some people won't, right? But they know I believe it, right? And they know I'm capable, right? But when you are coming in, you hyped up, you just got started, and you telling everybody they're about to make $100,000 a month, $250,000 a month, 75,000, $50,000 a month, and you're not building 500 yet, right? And even in your past companies, they know you never made $10,000 a month, but you're gassing them up about these huge numbers. They're basically not going to trust you. Okay? They're not going to believe in you, right? And so get away from the hype and get into business, right? Give people something that they can believe in. So setting those things. So let's see here. Go over the ways of earning because you want to know what a person wants to do to make their money. You here to do solo? Great. Perfect. You want to make 15,000 grand a month? Okay. That's about 4 or 5 deals a month. You know what I'm saying? Let's get you to 4 or 5 deals a month. Let's work on your game plan, your strategy on how to get 4 or 5 deals a month. How many calls you got to make? If you're going to use lead generation, if you're going to do events, whatever it is, let's build around that and Oh, it's water. Okay, let's do this. Oh, it's whatever. Okay, well, we're gonna do everything in subs and stuff like that, but we're gonna build. Let's see if we can get you to build. You got a problem with building? You got a problem with presenting? No, no, no. All right, great. Let's do this. And so figure out what their primary interest is and what their personality type will suggest. Like Dr. Arlene, when she was after the event, after the mixer on Saturday, she asked to have a game plan session with us while she was in town. So we sat down over lunch, and she asked us, "What should I, be focusing on?" And we had that conversation, and we let her lead it. When it comes to where her life is going, what she feels comfortable in, and what she's already experienced in the company thus far. And so we built that game plan, that new game plan around that conversation, right? Because some of y'all just automatically throw everybody into solar, right? When we are not a solar company, right? We are a personal development company, a leadership company that just happens to sell solar and other things. So again, find out what they want to do, okay? Get their input about their life, right? So then you turn around and you blueprint it, like I said, and you show them how to get it organically, show them how to get it systematically. And so for people who are building, I'm gonna just tell you right now, the fastest way to get a person to build a 500 is to get a person at 4 right away. Okay. Anything that we have that we're promoting that promotes recruiting, you should be all over it. There's one thing that the leader who got me to millions of dollars in coffee and the network marketing period, he says this is the thing. Whether I say anything to you or not, if I'm promoting it, promote it. And so everything he promoted it, even when I didn't know why I promoted it. And then once I promoted it and got the benefits, and then he had a chance to now sit down with me and explain why he was promoting certain things, it made sense then. But that's where the trust kicks in at. So you may not understand why I do things like the level up, deal. That level up deal is because a lot of y'all let people in here, including myself, based on what you heard on the training that says, go get 50 affiliates. Oh, no. No, 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 because you can't get those affiliates to upgrade. You know what I'm saying? So no, go get 50 people and let them make a choice on whether they want to be an affiliate or not. You always sell the you always sell the highest pack that we have and let them come down to where they want to be or where they fit in at, where they settle in at. Don't just automatically go do the easiest thing, right? Because the fastest way for a person to get rid of you is to sign up as an affiliate. Got another one? No, you don't. Go look at your back office right now. How long they been in affiliates? How long they been place sellers, right? Like Mr. Weeks say, place sellers, right? There's this mentality, right? Again, understanding, mindset. Go get 50 people. Don't go get 50 affiliates. If they happen to be 50 affiliates, that's fine. But you started up here. And by the way, if you go and do 50 presentations and get 50 people signed up and 50 people go affiliate, right? That means that 50 people listen to an affiliate. Okay. You may have a builder's pack, but you have an affiliate mentality. Okay. I'm just telling you. So are you talk to 50 affiliate minded people, 50 broke minded people, 50 people who want something for nothing, want something for free? It means that you need to level up and talk to the people who you're scared to talk to, your chicken list, right? So one or the other. You got a chicken doing the talking, or you talking to chickens, right? So again, look at your inventory. Your inventory will tell you who you are and what they see. So, Johnny, you can't make this up, bro. I'm telling you, you can't, bro. You can't make this up, bro. So I'm saying this is the stuff that will make you millions or cost you millions. Okay, simple stuff like this, that stuff that nobody thinks about, right? Everybody thinks it's as easy as, well, they train on this at this company. Let me go ahead and put these slides up. Let me go ahead and put these videos up. Let me go ahead and do this like they did it. You don't know what they did behind the scenes. All you see is what they posted. It's like y'all following people that got those lavish lifestyles and horrible lives. Right? You have zero idea, what's happening behind the scenes at their house. Just like you have zero idea why people making millions of dollars in these companies, because they're not giving you the secret sauce. You're not getting it because you're not in the millionaire mentorship calls and mentorship meetings and trainings and stuff, boot camps that they're doing, you don't know what they're teaching. You just see surface stuff, right? So this is important. But the blueprint, that level up deal, I'm telling you right now, ride the level up, guys. If you get this money, this is now at this point in time, this is now you got to go actually go to work for them affiliates to upgrade. If you just did the work the day you talked to them the first time the right way, you will never have to go back and double back. You double working yourself, right? It takes the same amount of time. Remember, if I do a 45-minute presentation, right, and you allow that person to sign up as an affiliate, you allow them to sign up as an affiliate while somebody else had that people sign up as a builder. Same presentation, different mentality. Same different presentation, different belief set. Okay? It takes the same amount of energy, same amount of time to get an affiliate as it does to get a builder. It just takes you to have a different level of belief. If you believe that the builder pack is better for that individual, then they'll get the builder pack. If you believe that it's not valuable and you can't show the value, they're going to get an affiliate, right? And so remember, that's going to be on you. But the banners that y'all seen today, that's on purpose. I'm celebrating you, but I'm also empowering you. Those banners, guys, y'all saw them. You love them. Great. It's not for you. It's for you, but it's not for you. It's for your bank account. Those banners are for your family and your lifestyle. Remember, you're going to get big in this business, guys. It's inevitable if you're doing what we teach you. Don't get to the point to where you hit build it 1,000, 2,000, 4,000. You start reading your own press thinking that, hey man, I'm the deal. No, you're not the deal. The system is the deal. Keep it 100, right? The system, I can't do what I do. I can't be who I be without the system. When I made $100,000 my first 30 days, the last deal I did, that was the system, it wasn't me. I created the system that we use, but I couldn't have did it without the system. Okay. When I made 8 figures in coffee, almost 8 figures in coffee, it was the system, it wasn't me. But most people want to take credit for what the system does, right? And I can't wait till we get to our boot camp so I can really get into some boot camp stuff, that I can't share with the populace, people who ain't ready, people who've been in the trenches, who've been out there building, presenting, growing groups. When we get into those rooms with those people, that's when everything is real. That's when the gloves come off and you get rich, right? So get people to build a 500, get people to build a 1,000, get people to build a 2,000, get people to presenting in the field. Also, their schedule. If you got a person who's ready to build, let's say if I got Roberto and Roberto, we're sitting at his game plan meeting and Roberto says he wants to be build 8,000 by the time we get to conventions. All right, Roberto. So this is where the bartering comes in. Roberto, to be at build 8,000 by the time we get to convention and to be at between 10 and 15 grand, which is what you say you want to earn, you know, are you willing to, put together a list of 200 people that we can call and invite? Yes. Okay, great. So Roberto, get the bill to 8,000 and build it at $15,000 a month, $15,000 a month. Are you willing to have be able to do at some point in time 4 events a week for you and your team? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Great. 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 So, Roberto, let me ask you a question. I'm going to do, 2 to 4 presentations for you. What day is what 2 days are the least busiest days of the week for you? Okay. Tuesday and Wednesday. Roberto, I normally do the corporate presentation on Wednesdays or Tuesdays, but this is what I do. I have Wednesdays open right now. And what I'm going to do, Roberto, I'm going to give you my next 4 Wednesdays. Okay. And I'm gonna give you my next 4. Now, remember, it's up to you, Roberto, if I do all 4. If I don't, it was your fault. Right? So you pack these calls out, you go out there and do your thing, you edify, we recruit, and we continue to bring people back, and you can have people continue to invite to those calls and continue to keep those numbers up. You'll have me for at least 4 weeks. Okay. And so what Roberto's job is to do exactly what I coach him to do, keep those calls growing. And then what will end up happening is by that third or fourth meeting, I will have found another Roberto in his group and I will give them my next 4 Wednesdays. Okay. And so, because remember, when you go 4 levels deep, that's when you find a leader. Okay. When you go 4 more levels deep, 8 levels deep total, that's when you find a leg. Okay. When you go 4 more levels deep, that's 3 leaders now and 1 leg, 12 levels deep. You've built a company within your company. So my goal is to run that. I want to take that leg of business to Hades. I want to just drill all the way down in depth, as far down as possible, in his organization, because what that's going to do for me, and if y'all got to go jump off, okay, it's going to be recorded somewhere. Uh, yeah. So this is the thing. If anything was to ever happen, and let's just say, let's say Angel is in Roberto's group and she's 4 levels deep, and Angel says, you know what? Yeah, I don't even want to do this no more. I want to go and open up my own company. I want to go be a part of this company. They're going to give me the VP of sales position over here. I'm gone. Well, Angel just left, but Roberto still has Sabrina down there and still has Johnny down there in depth. He still has 2 leaders left. Plus, Angel didn't take everybody from that group. So that leg is still in place. It still has a foundation in place. It's not going anywhere. It's still producing volume. It's still recruiting people, and it's going to sustain itself until we actually replace Angel. Okay. So we're talking about building a solid foundation. We're talking about building an actual business. And I want to make sure he understands that while we're sitting there talking, right? Because he'll be at Build 8,000. Because now while I'm doing 4 for him every Wednesday, guess what he's doing? 4 for himself a week, right? So I'm his group, event, for the week where everybody get it. But he's also now bringing on people who he's doing events for as well, who don't qualify for my time. So he's finding pockets of people to go present for, to go get 4 Wednesdays or 4 Thursdays or 4 Saturdays or 4 Sundays, whatever he's going to do with them. He's going to go and he's going to now start doing his own thing. So now he's got 4 a week in his group. That's why he's got his calendar. He's booked out, right? And next thing you know, it might be 5 or 6 a week if the cachet is like that, if the people who we're dealing with are like that. He's got some affluent individuals like that. So that's how you get people to mega money. And I'm gonna tell you something. If a person doesn't launch properly and they don't do these things I'm talking about in that first 30 days, the chances of them are making millions of dollars in a company greatly diminish. Yeah, it's like less than 5% at that point in time. Okay. So, like Dr. Arlene said when we first got started, speed thrills, right? And so with that speed, right? Um, in the beginning stages, you build up that speed, build up that momentum. You go out there now, you're creating so many stories in that first 30 days. I got builder 500s over here, I got builder 1000s over here. I got a ton of people got their fours. And you got all this stuff happening, all these stories happening, all these banners being posted, and that everybody's looking at you like they got it going on. And so and it just compounds and it takes a life of its own. Okay. But you want to be the driver in that situation. You want to make sure that people are looking at you in that situation because you're going to be the person that I actually edify. And y'all see me, everybody, whether you're in my group or not, you see how I edify. You see what happens when I shed light on your name. When I say your name, like that song, say my name, say my name. That's all. That was my song before Beyonce sung it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all I worked for, because I wasn't a great presenter. I wasn't a great teacher. I wasn't a great speaker, rather. You know what I'm saying? I just connected well with people and promoted for events great. So I know my people at that time didn't respect me. I know they respected the other leaders based on how they dressed, how they spoke, how much money they made. My goal was just to get you in front of those leaders and then make some money, get some ranks so they can say my name, say my name. Just the more you said my name, the more money I made, the more power they gave me and allowed me to increase my skill set of speaking, presenting, training, and all this other stuff. Right? Go ahead, you can take all the credit. That's great. Just keep saying my name. Just keep saying my name, because one day you're gonna say it, it's gonna really mean something. Okay. And so now when I say people's names, it's the same thing, right? Roberto, how when you're in that group and you're in the WhatsApp group, when I say your name, how does it make you feel?
Makes me feel like it's giving me a different status with the people that I'm in.
That's it.
Makes me feel important.
He can't do that for himself. I can do that for him. JC can do that for him. Winston can do that for him. Mr. Pacheco can do that for him. He can't do that for himself, right? I can't do that for me, right? So you have to force somebody to say your name. And the only way you can do that is by earning it, right? If the people who I'm working with, if they don't respect the time and they don't do the things that I outlined for them to do, I stop working with them. I love you. My love for you is unconditional. My time ain't, right? And so that's why I say put respect on it, right? When people are dealing with your time, make them put some respect on it, right? So that part, let's see here. I'll get you guys out of here in a little bit, but let's see, make sure I don't miss nothing. Whatever they told you they want to accomplish, make sure you repeat it to them. Make sure that they know you see them, they see you writing down notes, things like that. Make sure that they see that because that's very, very important. Also, let's see here. Oh, just so you know, when I say my time, the 20% of my time goes, just so you know, you want to make sure you adopt this as well. 20% of my time goes with the system, to people who are crawling, the incubators. That's what 20% of my time goes to. People who are not recruiting, promoting, presenting, people who are just in the business and they may even be retailing only. 20% of my time goes there. 80% of my time goes to the runners, the people who are out there grinding, people who are out there in the trenches, people who have calendars, right? That's what 80% of my time goes. Right? And you want to, because remember, you look at John C. Maxwell, I don't know what book it was off the top of my head. It's got a lot of them. This guy's got a lot of great. But he talks about it. One of those things he talks about where to invest your money based on understanding what the return is going to be. So if you own a muffin stand, I'll just say the muffin stand. I think it was muffins. He said if you own a muffin stand, you got an opportunity to work with somebody who sells 12 muffins an hour, and you got a chance to work with another person who sells 4 muffins an hour, and you got the ability to make sure that you can teach them how to double, okay, their output. Who do you work with? You work with the person who's selling 12 because that 12 becomes 24. The 4 becomes 8, right? And so again, this is how you want to pay attention to. You don't work with who you like, work with who deserves it. Because this is the other thing about working with who you like. When people see you work with who you like over them who's deserving, they don't quit the business. They just stop respecting you. They stop working with you. As a matter of fact, some people will get out of the business and go join somebody else who will appreciate them, recognize them, honor them, and edify them. When they see you working with your clique people, you know what I'm saying? They'll stop working with you. They'll stop respecting you. So again, that's why I say relationships off hours, right? No favoritism, no cliques, right? Show people who, if you want my time, you gotta go do what Hans is doing. Right? You want my time, you gotta go do what you see what Chris is doing over here. You gotta do what Chris is doing. You gotta go do what Landon's doing. And I'll see you at the party. I'll see you at the event. I'll see you on training. I'll see you at the convention. But 80% of my time goes to calendar people because I'm a calendar person. Okay. Two more things. Let me see here. Oh, cycles. The other night I talked about the cycles and I messed it up royally. Like I said, my head went where it was supposed to be. But this is the thing about cycles. 18-month cycles, 3 phases in each cycle, right? So each phase comes in, like I say, a 3 6 month phases. Okay, that first phase one, the first when I say 6 month phase, the first 2 months is massive recruiting. Okay, I want to make sure I justify this and clarify this. First phase, first 6 months, first 2 months of that phase, massive recruiting. Okay. The second 2 months of that phase, you're still recruiting, but you're identifying builders, people who are doing what you're doing, recruiters, builders. The last 2 months of that phase, you're now identifying leaders, right? That you can mentor and coach at the top when you move to a new body of people, a new group of individuals, right? So if you're doing a 20-20 plan, you're putting 20 and 20 in, 20 on the left, 20 on the right, you're doing that in a 3 to 6 month period of time, you're going to turn around and do that again for the second phase in that cycle. But this time in the second phase, it's going to be a lot easier based on the results and the things that you have to edify what you did in the first phase. So when you go to massive recruiting for the first 2 months, again, it's going to be easier for you to go and massive recruit because I can call up Chris McHenry and say, hey, Chris, hey, bro, I know, right now I got a new project I'm working on and got some things we got some things happening. And you know what? And I can just kind of run my resume down to him. As a matter of fact, I got a young lady by the name of Roxy. She's over here killing it. She's doing this, that, and other. Or I got a young lady over here named, you know, Victoria. She's over here killing it. She's doing it. And I'm talking about the resume, how much money, Coffee is earning, how many deals Philip is doing, and how many water systems Ava is selling. And I can talk about how many commercial deals that Jeremy is doing. And now my resume of people who I'm working with and who I'm helping from the first phase is going to stockpile my first 60 days in the second phase. So it'll be a lot easier because I have a lot of social proof. And so again, I'm gonna go through that second phase the same exact way, and then go through the third phase and complete the cycle. Right? That cycle, the 18-month cycle, guys. When you build a business for 18 months on purpose, and that cycle is done, it's nowhere in the world you do it the right way. It's nowhere in the world you're not at $100,000 a month. At some point in time, it has to happen. If you're doing 4 week or more, and then you have people who in your group are doing 4 week or more, that is $100,000 is a cakewalk per month. If when the moment you remember, you can't see it because you're not doing the activity, right? But the moment you start doing the activity and you start seeing it on your calendar, you start seeing it on your back office, and then every hour you go back to your back office and you hit refresh and the numbers change, right? And the numbers jump up, boom, 7 more people, 3 more people, boom, next hour with 2 more people, next hour, 1 more person, next hour, 4 more people, right? You hit now it's a refresh situation because you got so many people coming in. Now you can really see it. Now it's real to you. But it'll never be real to you if it's not on your calendar and it's not in the trenches. Tell people this all the time, guys, when you actually understand that success and results are built in 3 places, in the head, on paper, written out, game plan wise, and then in action in the trenches, right? Those are the 3 places that results, are built and created. Okay. So when you actually have that understanding and you go through that process, what ends up happening is you do very, very well for yourself. And you see it. Now you can project it, you can teach people, you can show people as they're coming with you and coming along for the ride, right? Um, let's see here. I just want to make sure I don't leave anything out here. Be accountable and committed. Hold people to what they say. Okay. Make sure you're giving people attainable goals. We talked about that setting expectations earlier. Okay. And don't try to be everything to everybody. And make sure that you're drawing your group out. And so when I say draw your group out, I'm gonna do an exercise one day where you can actually see it. But what you want to do, and I might even just draw it out and send it and put it into the leadership group so y'all can see it anyway. I'll do that. But you can go get you can do any type of paper, but I like to do the sketch pads. The sketch pads have nothing on them. Okay. And when it comes to the sketch pads, what you want to do is you want to make sure you put your goal up top, your name, your goal, draw a straight line, okay? And on that straight line, you have your little drop down lines. Those people those lines represent the individuals that are actually in your organization. And those people are the ones who actually have goals, those people who actually have dreams, those people who are actually going to be doing presentations and stuff like that. I don't put anybody in a circle that's not presenting. That person's lanyap, as they call it in Louisiana. That's extra, right? If they're not presenting, they're not on my paper, right? If they don't have a calendar, they're not on my paper, right? And so don't put people on that paper to impress you. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing impressive about an empty circle, and you lying to yourself. Okay, keep the circle empty so you'll do something about it. When you have a person at a game plan session and we're having that conversation like I had with Roberto, and Roberto said, hey, yeah, I'm willing to do that because we're bartering and I'm going to give him the result that he wants based on him doing the activity that I prescribe. He's in a circle, right? I know that he's going to do at least 4 a week. He's in a circle. Okay. And so I have his goals under his circle. And basically, what I do is I have enough. I actually have 20 circles on mine. Okay. And because I know it takes 10 legs of business, five on the left, five on the right, to actually get to qualify foundationally for the $250,000 a month. But I know it's going to take 20 people building for me to get to it. Okay? I already know this for a fact, for a certainty. And so if I have 25 people, that's fantastic. But I have 20 circles, and I'm not putting anything into a circle until I know what I got. I'm not putting my mentors who do solar in a circle because they do solar. They're not doing presentations. Okay, that's extra, right? Not doing all that. So I'll show you how to draw that out, and I'll show you how to track that. But also on your calendars, like on your month at a glance calendars, the circle should be smaller. And but at the top of every day, guys, you should have a line, and you know what it is: a number on the left and a number on the right, and that number should change every day. You got to make that number change every day, directly or indirectly. You have to be committed to change. You got to be a change agent. That number has to change every day. You need to talk to people who are willing to make their number change so your number change every day, right? I'm not answering the phone for people who are not change agents. They don't get the void by the name. Now, if they're on my calendar for a three-way lifeline, they'll talk to me then, but they're not, I'm having conversations with people who are out here in the field grinding, people who are out here in the field who need coaching constantly because they just sponsor somebody else, just brought on a heavy hitter, or they need advice. This is where again you become the millionaire. This is where that now when you become the millionaire, it catches up to you and ends up in your bank account, your back office. Okay. And so I know we're on over a little bit of time, guys, but hey, I appreciate you guys hanging around today. Today was a great day for many. And those of you who had your stories, you impacted people's lives today. And so y'all need anything, y'all know where to find me. But let's go out here and get this thing done. Let's make sure that right now we're getting people to Builder 500 immediately. We're getting people to four immediately. We're getting people upgraded immediately. These are the things that we have to pound into our conversations on purpose. So every day we're having conversations with different people every day about the same stuff every day, every day. It's got to get monotonous and it's got to become a broken record, and we all have to sound the same. Okay. We'll evolve our conversation when we evolve where we're at right now as people and builders. So love y'all. See y'all at the top, see y'all at the bank, and see y'all at the convention as Builder 8,000 or higher. I'll holla.
Thank
But
you.
then